Hey guys, it is my favorite time of month, testing time. So this month I wanted to share 3 actionable ways you can test your open rates. As you know, we need to think of our email as a series of micro conversions that are dependent on one another to reach our goal. So we need an open to get a click and likely a click to get to our goal, which is a landing page typically. And that is never going to change. So it's really important that we continue to test. And today we're going to start with open rates. Now, before your testing begins, here are some housekeeping items. First, you want to identify an email that will have the most impact on your end goal. Typically, this is a promotional email that drives sales, but whatever is important to you, select that. Next, get your audience ready. And if you've seen my statistical significance video, you know that in testing, the bigger the audience, the better. But regardless, ensure that your audience is ready to go. Next, you're going to want to define your control. And one caution here, a lot of times when we go into testing mode, we think that we've got to do something more to our control, kind of putting our best foot forward. But actually, you want to keep it in its current state exactly how you would have sent it to start with. So ensure that the control is ready to go. And then last, just a tip here, remember that the latency of testing is 72 hours, so don't rush to call a winner. Ensure you give it some time to have people react over about 3 days. Now, here are 3 A/B tests to add to your testing protocol that will help you increase opens. Test number 1, of course, is subject lines. Email is coming in by the minute, so your subject lines must stand out. And this is not a throw things against the wall and see what will stick, but more of a formulaic approach. Here are some of the subject line formulas to test against your control. You can ask a question, add urgency, add an attention grabber like emojis or brackets, hint at an incentive. You can add personalization such as a first name. Try a fear of missing out tactic. Be direct. Tell them exactly what to expect. You can incorporate a stat. You could shorten it or try length. For example, 10 characters. Add humor or front load a sale or a discount. These are just some of the subject line formulas to get you started. Test number 2, the sender, also known as your from line. Who sent this email? When a great subject line has caught your recipient's eye, next we want to know who sent it. And seeing a generic company name or a non-reply as a sender often sends up red flags that more than likely might cause a user not to want to open your email, or worse, could send you to spam. So, people like connecting with people, and by using the name and address of a real person on your team, you personalize an automated experience and humanize your brand. So here are some to try. You can just include the full name of the person. You could say full name from your company name, news at company name, first name at company name. So things like that are ways that you can, personalize the experience. The one thing I will add is that you're likely going to want to validate this to be true. So for instance, if you pick Amy from Email Growth Society, and that comes in much better than your control, you'll just want to test it a couple of times to make sure you're continuing to see that trend. Okay, and last test. Test number 3 is send time. Out of every test we can run for open rates, send time always delivers. And you ask why. Timing is everything. It is really important to understand when to send to your recipients. So here's how to test it out. First, you're going to want to come up with a standard list of times that range across the day. And I always like to start with these: 8 a.m., 10:30 a.m., noon, of course. We always want to test if people are responsive at lunchtime, 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. As you can see, I've just started like a nice span across the day, so I can start to gauge if morning or evening, middle of the day, sort of work best. You will need at least 1,000 people in each of these testing groups. So if you have a list of 5,000 or more, you could run all of these tests on the same day. So for example, on Monday, I schedule the email to go out at 8 a.m., 10:30, noon, 3, and 6 to 1,000 or more people. I wait my 72 hours and then I call a winner. Sometimes there may be 2 or 3 times that come in the strongest, and if that's the case, you're just going to want to run the test again on the same day against those times only. So if 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. are winners, the next Monday you will run the test again against 8 and 6, and hopefully you'll have a winner. You'll want to repeat by each day of the week until you have a full set of winning times per day. And note, there are some days of the week we find it really doesn't matter. So in that case, think about the day of the week and send accordingly based on the intention of the email. So for promos, I would wait and maybe send that at the end of a work day because I don't want to bother people in the middle of their work day. However, for urgent account-based messages, I might send earlier in the day so people have time to react. Remember, do not try all of these tests at once. Try one, validate, and move on to another one. Your end goal is creating a winning email. Think of these tests as Lego building blocks. We're building on one another until we have a masterpiece that we're happy with. So, what are you waiting for? Start planning these tests now and make sure you let us know if we can help you with anything at all by sending a comment our way. Bye, guys.